May the words of my mouth, the meditation of each one of our hearts, be always acceptable to our strength and our Redeemer. Amen. I was reminded the other day of the first official act that I performed after I was ordained. It was to invite all those who were gathered to offer the peace of the Lord to each one of them. It's exactly that part of the service at Holy Comforter that is uninhibited and kind of lively, a bit chaotic. So a member of Holy Comforter called me this last week and shared that it's that part of the liturgy that has always driven him nuts. But it's the very part of the liturgy that he is finding that he misses the very most now. May the peace of the Lord be always with you. So easily said, not so easily lived. On a Sunday night, 2,000 years ago, the disciples were hiding in a locked room, and they were without hope. They were afraid that the authorities were going to arrest them. They were afraid to go out into the streets. They were afraid to show their faces, unless perhaps there was a mask that they could wear that would cover them up. It's Easter. It's an Easter season, and in this Easter season, I think we can understand their fear as we sequester behind these closed doors. Every single human being is fighting to find peace and to push back fear, to get through their daily tasks without breaking down. But no matter how much fear and doubt and troubled our heart, no locked door can prevent the risen Christ from offering the healing gift of peace. No matter how many walls we put up, or how many locked doors we keep between us, the risen Christ finds a way to break in. And you know, peace is what God has been longing for us to share from the first creative breath that gave life to Adam in the Garden of Eden, to that holy breath that the risen Christ offered to those fear-filled disciples locked inside that upper room. Throughout the arc of the biblical imagination, God has a dream for peace that resists the human tendency towards fear and misery, hostility, and division. And that dream is encapsulated by the idea of shalom in Hebrew, or salam in Arabic, or peace in English. It is that dream which I think widens our doors towards children, the homebound, the hungry, the lost, and those people who are looking for just a little bit of sanctuary from the chaos of a world that really seems resistant to the gift of peace. For many, 9/11, it kind of shattered the illusion of stability and invincibility in this country. And I think a lot of us right now, COVID-19 is doing the same thing. But just like that first Easter night, when the disciples were filled with fear and sorrow, Jesus stood in the middle of it. Peace be with you. And his breath, it carries us through each day, one day at a time. The peace of Christ is for every situation where we face fear, anxiety, confusion, grief, or pain. And there's no area of our life that is too remote, no challenge we face that is too difficult for the peace of Christ to penetrate, to enlighten, and to redeem. Locked doors can't keep Christ out of the room. Taking a divided humanity and a failing universe, Jesus, by his life, death, and resurrection, restores God's dream of shalom, salam, peace. And you and I, we live into that wholeness, not around an altar today, but with God's dream of peace scattered and growing through bits and bites around kitchen tables and living rooms. And what the risen Christ asks of us, his disciples today, locked in our own places, is to live into and scatter that dream of peace, offering it to anyone you can, whenever you can, however you can. I think we're starting ministry and community anew in this time, but the dream is unchanged. The very globe which we inhabit was carved out by the God who desires wholeness, unity, harmony, love, justice, grace, and peace. And so I challenge all of us to take advantage of this quiet moment when activity around the world is slowed, giving us a chance to start again, perhaps in a different way. That peace, that love, shalom, salam, be the drumbeat of our lives together. May the peace of the Lord be always with you.